are you struggling to get the results that you truly want in your life because of a lack of confidence or a low self-esteem? Is it holding you back from maybe getting that job promotion or that really wonderful relationship or earning more money or becoming healthier? For most people, a lack of self-confidence and a lack of self-esteem does hold them back from really living the life that they deserve to live. You know that most people, they have an idea of what they want their life to look like and this vision of what they want it to look like, but then they look at their reality and it doesn't look anything like that vision, and they don't know how to bridge the gap between where they are and where that vision is. 2/3 of the people on this planet are just like you, so you're not alone. And I was like that too. I struggled most of my life. As a young boy, I had low self-esteem. I really had zero confidence. I got bullied when I was a kid. I had a disorder where I wasn't growing fast enough, so I wasn't maturing like my friends were. They were becoming men, and the girls were becoming women. And I couldn't compete athletically. I couldn't date. And that really, between the bullying and the fact that I wasn't growing and the fact that I did poorly in school, really had an impact on me. I dropped out of school at a very young age and never went back. And here's the challenge that I had, and you're probably facing as well. All of that stuff from my childhood carried into my adulthood, right? Doesn't make any sense, but the reality is that for most people it does. Most of us are living a life based on our past, right? We're stuck there, and for some reason, it creeps up on us. When you're about to go ask for a raise, and all of a sudden, because you were that person as a child that was afraid to talk to other people, or you had a low self-esteem back then, it shows up in your adult life. Maybe when you're talking to somebody who's superior to you or has advanced in life beyond you and maybe has some levels of success that you don't have, you're intimidated by that because of going way back to when you were bullied or where you were picked on when you were a child. All of these things resurface in our life if we don't take control over them, and they did for me, and it held me back for a long time. I mean, 30 years later, I was still intimidated by other people that I thought were more successful than me or had a better image than me or physically, more attractive than me or whatever it was. And I realized that that's just so foolish to think that way, to allow something that happened to us so long ago creep up on us when we're adults and then put a stranglehold on us and hold us back from having the things that we truly want, the life that we truly deserve to have. So I began to really study. I studied not only personal development to understand how to grow as a person, but I really started to study psychology as well. I also started to study some of the most successful people that have really broke out from the norms and really did things that took a lot of courage and confidence. And I started to study, and I've read hundreds of books on these people. And I took the information I got from those that are successful in our world history and today. I took the psychology that I read, and I took the personal development that I read, and I kind of combined all those three things to try to figure out a way to change my own life. And I came up with really a system on how to do that. And what's interesting is all successful people, your neighbor who's more successful than you, your brother-in-law or your sister or somebody that you know that's more successful than you in some way, whether it's they're healthier or they earn more money or they're more productive or they've got these loving, passionate relationships, they're no different than you and I. But there's one thing that they do differently, and I've learned what that is. And so here's the key. All you really need to do is understand what that thing is. And that thing is broken into essentially 3 different parts, right? What causes us to be successful and break through and have major breakthroughs in our life, it's boiled down to 3 simple things. It's about your confidence, your belief in your self-image. And when you understand this, you can break free from the chains of your past and really start to live the life that you deserve, just like many other people are doing out there that you know and you aspire to be like. Now, they may not know that they're doing this, but I can guarantee you they are. And I've worked with some really successful people, and I've asked them some simple questions to try to verify if my findings were accurate. And every time I ask them these questions, I find out that the information is accurate. They're living this way whether they know it or not. Now, some are deliberately doing it, and some are unconsciously doing it based on their programming or how they were brought up. But you see, depending on how you were brought up, depending on your environment, maybe you weren't programmed to be the person that you aspire to be like. But that doesn't mean that you can't reprogram yourself, if you will, because it's really not that hard to do, and I've learned the steps to do it. So I want to encourage you to come to my webinar. I am going to be sharing a webinar and sharing these topics with people on the webinar on really how to break free from the chains of your past. If you lack confidence or self-esteem, I can promise you this 45 minutes to an hour webinar that I'm about to expose to you will radically change the direction of your life. Once I teach you these 3 fundamental things, you're going to really want more of it, to be honest with you. But it'll radically change the way that you think and the way that you believe about yourself, and ultimately change the results that you're getting in your life. So what I want to encourage you to do, okay, on this webpage, I want you to enter your name and your email. What will happen is an email will be sent to you, so check your spam folder in case it ends up there. In that email, there'll be a registration link for the webinar that I'm going to be conducting, okay? Register for the webinar, and if you know anybody like you that's struggling with self-image or confidence, share that registration link with them as well. And come to the webinar. I promise you, it'll be the best time that you'll ever spend when it comes to you breaking free from the chains of your past. Thanks for watching.